Alright guys, welcome one and all to another best of 3 for the ZOTAC monthly finals. This is Rifkin, and of course I'm Cassie with the lovely Zombie Grub. And spawning here in the upper left corner of the map, starting off the series fresh and new, it's the Red Zerk player, FXO Lucky.
And in the bottom right on Bashir Vestige, we do have QUantic APOC. That's actually his name, not Reaper King. I guess he likes Reapers nowadays, though.
Pretty awesome name nonetheless. But as I was saying before we got into the game, guys, for those who don't know, this is a fun fact about him. Apocalypse was #1 GM of the North American ladder, and not by some small margin, by like 150 plus points. He actually chose to leave the ladder so he could make room for other people, since he was planning to go play on like Korea and Europe instead. So right now Apocalypse is really at the top of his game. He's been playing magnificently in previous ZOTAC Cups. I know this isn't a TVT, but I do want to point out, notably, he did take down Polt. He's one of the few players that have actually taken down Polt in the finals. So
Yeah,
if that doesn't, I mean, yeah, if that doesn't say how good he is, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I mean, Palt has really great TVT. I mean, that mind of Palt is really good. I mean, this guy was at the height of his success while still going to college at like a really good Korean school, which I don't know if you guys know anything about Korea, but they're pretty serious about their education. So TVT is like his thing.
A
So
big thing here.
Apocalypse.
Well, as much as I love Apocalypse, not to take anything away from him, I do want to give some credit to FXO Lucky, because today he's playing at a bit of a deficit. Everyone knows Korea to Europe is much worse than Korea to North America. So right now, Lucky is not going to have a fun time playing from his server. He's going to definitely have some lag to deal with, but we'll see if that affects his gameplay. But FXO Lucky, another interesting up-and-comer story. Well, I shouldn't really call him up-and-comer. He's established, so an established comer story. But he recently started playing the ZOTAC Cups about a month ago. He's been doing exceedingly well. Hasn't quite taken a cup final home yet, but he's done well enough to make it here to the monthly finals. They only invite the best players who have been competing and racking up the points from the weekly cups.
Yeah, I mean, he's been performing very well in the smaller cups. You know, a lot of Koreans do join these cups, guys. You know, every weekend they have the ZOTAC NA as well as EU, and there's always like a few really good Koreans that come, and seeing them knocked out is always very, very surprising. But do you see that? Yeah, it does happen. I mean, because like the first stages are best of one, so
Yeah.
there's always a chance.
Well, you say there's always a chance, but I think if you're at the top of your game, unless you bump into someone who's also like a very high-profile player, you really shouldn't lose unless you just get completely caught off guard by like cheese or something.
Right. Yeah. I just know that when I was you know, paying attention and casting them, that there was a lot of times where like Arthur would go down in stage 1, and I'm like, huh, I wonder how he went down. But of course I couldn't ask him because I don't know Korean. But,
Yeah, and it's like Super BM. It's like, hey, you lost. You want to tell me how?
Exactly. I'm not gonna do that. So Reaper does get in here, scouts a little bit, of course, expanding behind this as well as getting that factory for those headlands. Standard stuff from both players. Now, question is Apocalypse a really greedy player? Is he gonna go for that 3cc double NG fast? And is he gonna prescribe to this new Terran that always gets a tank when that happens, or is Lucky going to be able to bust him with some type of all-in?
Well, there's that early 3cc. Now, the big thing here is, I gotta tell you, like, from talking to a lot of my Zerg friends and from watching a lot of my Terran friends, this Reaper push, when you do 2 Reapers and 6 Hellions, it is so good. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a better alternative, but, oh, this lane! If he blocks the factory, that'll be huge. And, oh, Lucky. This is only a few seconds. Actually, this is more than a few seconds. Reaper's not going to be able to deal with this.
Alright. Here's something that Lucky's doing right now. I don't think it's going to be in time, but if it was, it would have been really, really great. It's really, really annoying when this happens as well. He's sending down 6 lings. He got 8 lings, which is a lot more than you usually get in ZVT in the beginning. So he wanted to cancel this command center, or like continuously kill a lot of SCVs.
Reapers, anything that comes down. Speed is so good.
It is. So right now he did not get the command center, of course. It's going to be able to lift up after it turns into orbital command, but he is denying access to, you know, worker transfers. He's just buying a little more time. Hellions, once they come out though, this aggression does end. So he has 6 slings, not going to do too much, but they're always there in case he needs them. And we do see Apocalypse going into the Banshee, so...
Yeah. Lucky lagging a little bit. There's that Korea lag.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, like, even though it was only like maybe 8 seconds he bought himself, delaying the Reaper Hellion push for like 8 seconds is actually insanely huge. That's the difference of having a couple extra units out on the field. And it's already hard enough to deal with that push as is.
Yeah, and also he brought back the Reapers. When Reaper, or I just want to call him when he's there. When Apocalypse saw the Lings, he was like, well, I got to deal with this in case, 4 more are going to be on the way. I can't just lose my command center. So we had to bring him back, which means that the scouting is not as good. He doesn't know the third's there. So he's hesitant to push out. Usually good Terrans will push out with the first 2 Hellions and the 2 Reapers and just kind of maneuver around. Now he's waiting for the 6 Hellions plus the Banshee. So this attack that could already be doing a little bit of damage is not going to be doing so much.
Yeah, and I want to point out here too, Lucky scouted the Banshee coming, so we see Spore Crawlers immediately thrown down. That Overlord, man, too good. This is where I start complaining.
Without any Marines, they're pretty good. No.
Alright, well look at this push actually. You know what? This is already a scary push. 2 Reapers and the 6 Hellions, but you pair with a Banshee. Like, these Queens in the front line, they're gonna go down so quickly. The Zerglings have got to get that perfect surround off. If the engage is even slightly off for either of these players, the game could change in an instant.
Oh, also Apocalypse is not stopping Hellion production or Banshee production. He's not investing in Cloak, even though it is cheaper, but he is not stopping just at 1, going up to 2, maybe even 3. With all these Hellions, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just going to go like really heavy into the harassment style.
Oh man, these 3 Queens, they're very
vulnerable
vulnerable right now.
Going up on Creep's not the best idea, though. What is
I don't know, he's fighting near the ramp though, does get a favorable angle right there at the end, but still there's so many Lings here getting a great surrounds off. But those Queens, man, they bully that Banshee back and then some, so a really nice hold there. But again, not too much loss here for Apocalypse either. Some
It is only Hellions, and he even kept the Reapers, which doesn't usually happen, but that was supposed to not die like that. That was supposed to keep on accumulating and then just be really, really scary against any amount of Lings. So the fact that he went up on Creep and up to a ramp was really questionable, I think. So that's really unfortunate. Now he's doing what I expected him to do, which is go around the side and then kind of attack the third.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Typically you have Roaches to hold this off. I'm really surprised Lucky's sticking with Lings at this point. He's seen this coming.
Yeah,
there we go, big
again,
surround.
Yeah, this is getting shut down a hardcore by Lucky.
Wow, both of those Hellions getting caught there at the very end. There's almost nothing left to push forward. The Banshees are scary, but they can't take on 3 Queens.
Yeah, no. No, they can't. And Lucky's always there in perfect position. The Banshees could be going off to the left while the Hellions go off to the right, but
I do want to point out,
really...
Lucky's sticking with the Lingbane Muta style here, and Apocalypse investing the way he has is going to have almost no anti-air on the field. He is transitioning to bio out of this, make no mistake, but he's going to have no Marines on the field.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Glad you brought it up. That's something that can't happen when you go with this heavy Hellion, heavy Banshee style. You just don't have anything that shoots up, so...
Man, this is this is such an awesomely awkward composition. It's done what it wanted to do in the sense that it's kind of boxed and taken some of the creep away, but it's not done as much damage. Like, you need to fry drones with this push, and he's not been able to do that.
I mean, even killing Queens, is something that you could have done. So, getting absolutely nothing except, he did force out a lot of Lings, but even besides that, he's already up to 73 drones, so that's still not what you wanted. It's looking worse for Apocalypse, not to say he's out of the game. No, not at all.
Well, the other thing, too, is really worth noting is +2 ground carapace is on the way, and Marines already... And Zerglings and Marines have this really awkward trade when it comes to upgrades, where armor makes such a big deal, and having those +2 armor is going to allow them to connect a little bit easier to the Marines, allow the Banelings to roll in for that extra hit. But, Hellions not quite getting the favorable surround that they want to. The Lings are driven back. But, man, he's been pumping out Banshees like a madman. 4 Banshees on the field. Like, what is this?
Yeah, 4 Banshees, not usually a number that you see. We'll be able to cancel this 4th. I guess that's one thing that's good for him. Still, 3 base economy looking very good for Lucky. Muta's coming out means that this entire army of Apocalypse just dies. I mean, maybe some of it can run away, but most of it dies.
We got turrets desperately coming up at home, but I mean, like, 1 or 2 turrets does not stop 12 Mutalisks.
It does not.
Oh, but he's finally got some Marines on the field. He's got that nice bio well. Combat shield's really far off, though, which is kind of scary. Because Marines, without that combat shield, you stim once, they're very fragile.
It's true. He's double dropping right now, which is very questionable because it's 13 minutes, and usually, like, the standard Muta timing is 10:30 to 11. He might be thinking they're not going to happen. It looks like the turrets were blind, and so he's able to get away with this, but it's very risky. Like, Mutas could see this and just go straight for that drop.
Apocalypse, being the smart cookie that he is, probably saw the upgrades on the Lings, and if you know your opponent's dedicating to Lings, there's only one thing you pair with them, and that's Banelings and Mutalisks. You don't typically see Ling upgrades into, like, mid-game Roaches in the TVZ matchup. It happens, of course, but big engagement here. Catches almost all of the Mutalisks! Oh my god. I think 3 went down there. That's pretty big. And now that drop's coming into the main, boosting right on in. Nothing here to oppose them. No Banelings, no Zerglings, nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately he was trying to deal with the frontal push and just completely forgot to look off to the left side where his Overlord did spot the drop, so now the queens are going down, the
no
fourth is also going to go down.
transfuse. He could transfuse those queens and then some.
Oh, but of course the lag is really playing a part here, I think. Don't think that, Lucky has terrible control. I think it's just the lag really hurting him.
Making it very difficult to react to these drops. Really nicely handled though by Apocalypse. Does lose most of those Hellions. The Marines are cleaned up, and actually the Banshees now go down to the Mutalists, so we're not taking pity on Lucky, guys. He cleaned up both of those rather effectively. Losing the 4th base, not a big deal, because he's still got 3 bases mining.
Exactly, and he still has a very good drone count. They only took out queens in the main, no spawning pool or anything like that. He did get an emergency roach warrant, I guess, in case they were going for a mech, but Infestation Bridge is also done. He could be going for, straight in a hive rather than sticking on the mid-game composition forever, which is very popular nowadays, is sticking on the Mutaling Bling for a very long time. And even like massing mutas up to like the 30 count, but with that Infestation Pit.
Well, hang on, Medevac trying to get in here again, but his Baneling's lying in wait. These Marines are not long for this world, Zombie Grub.
No, they aren't, but they're trying to pull the Zerg out of position. Unfortunately, Lucky just had those as defense, not pulling anything out of position at all. 2-2 will finish for Apocalypse, and that's really where Terran, starts to ramp up the aggression.
I like this move too. Lucky's going for Burrow. Burrowed Banelings can be so deadly in this matchup, specifically because Terrans don't expect it. And all it takes is that one poor engagement, that one time where you walk your army over 3 Banelings just to end the game. And it's Belshir, so there's lots of ramps and small areas that the Terran army has to go through. Surprisingly, Apocalypse does not have that many Widow Mines. There's only 3 out in the field right now. He's getting Drilling Claws and starting to ramp up that production, but he does not have quite the pushing power that you might see. But he's taking a 4th right now, going really into a macro game. His 3-3 has also started. Well, oh my god, the Mutalists in the main, yeah. Not going to be able to do too much, will be driven off, but they do scare Apocalypse. More turrets coming down in response to this. But I got a comment too. Jesus, Oversteers move fast with the Pneumatized Carapace. I've never taken time to notice that.
Yeah, they do. And it's very crucial to have that when you're going for mutas. Do not want to be caught by a stray Widow Mine on accident. I was going to note that Lucky forgot +2 weapons, so when the 3-3 finishes, it'll be 3-3 against 2-2, yeah, by the end of everything. So that's going to be quite harsh.
I love all this crazy aggression. The left side of the field, we got Zerglings getting in here, going to try to take out the turrets because the Planetary Fortress will, of course, shut down everything.
There we go.
Slams right into it. There we go.
Banelings were doing nothing for a minute there, but they will take it down. Unfortunately,
but look at those burrowed mines. They're lying in wait. Apocalypse. He's pre-spreading, but will it matter? We'll have to see.
Lots of Widow Mines coming in here. He goes right over the Banelings. Are they going to get the
go? And he gets so many Marines there. Meanwhile, big attack at the 3rd base with the bunker holding strong for Apocalypse. Not too much danger there, but despite that great Baneley mine, the Widow Mines equalizing out the explosive damage on the field. Marines now just going to push forward pretty freely. More Baneleys morphing in. There's just not enough to deal with the army right now.
No, not with all these Banelings that Lucky had hidden behind his army. Needs to be careful not to go on a Widow Mine. There is one charge and ready.
He's got, actually, he's not splitting. He was splitting. Decided to go for the pickup instead. Cost him a few more Marines than it should have. And the Widow Mine's going down, of course, now as well. But that Baneling hit was so sexy. Zombie Grub, I can't even.
That was pretty good. Unfortunately, Apocalypse not. He's learned his lesson. You're gonna start scanning ahead after that. Definitely, but could definitely see some more Baneling mines happen. Lucky, however,
you can't really waste the Banelings right here the way he is. You never want to trade one Baneling for one Marine. Not quite worth it.
That's true. Nope. And Lucky is going to be able to hold on to this 4th, I think. Apocalypse is going to try and break this 4th. This is really where this matchup comes to a head on this map, is here at
but look at him coming from behind here. The Widow Mines are just rearming, though. Banelings do get picked off by that Widow Mine. A really nice hit, but there's so many Zerglings, so many Mutalists left in the field. Lucky needs to start focusing down these medevacs. It's not about the Marines at this point. It's about this massive medevac count.
There's still more Banelings in the back. Lucky always having some in reserve.
Oh, sick pickup.
Does pick up. Yeah, but he needs to be careful not to be caught out. They do not. He spreads his medevacs a little bit, making sure that the ones holding the Marines do not get picked off.
And this is such an intense position in the game because neither player wants to give a single bit of ground here.
There's 3-3 just finished.
And this is going to be a big push with that 3-3 adding on to this. Behind this, though, we see Apocalypse still hasn't taken that 4th base. Baneley's now rolling into the 3rd. SCV's already being pulled. He saw this coming. But the transfer is coming as well, Zombie Grub. He's just replaced the SCVs he pulled to save.
Oh, God.
Oh, that could have been much worse than it really was. A nice control of Apocalypse in the last second. But I tell you, he must have been sweating bullets there when he saw the transfer coming over. He's like, yeah, I saved him, no problem. Oh, my God, oh, my God.
That was probably the exact response. Lucky could have possibly burrowed some Baneling mines, hoping that Apocalypse would not see it, but luckily Apocalypse was all over it. Unfortunately, no fourth command center for Apocalypse, so his 3-3 and his army that he has is really what he needs to win the game with, because this third is totally oversaturated, and lots of links are coming in, but Apocalypse is on it. Bermuda's in the main, gonna take out the missile turrets. Not too much to hit over here, except, well, I guess the production.
Yeah, once you start picking off those tech labs, you're really going to limit what your opponent has to actually shoot back up at those mutalisks. So, while he's not going to exactly end the game with his damage, it's going to be crucial nonetheless. Those Zerglings trying to get a strand off on this drop. That +3 armor with this medevac is making the Marines nearly unkillable. In fact, he only lost 2 Marines so far to a lot of Zerglings.
Wow. Looks like he will be getting this 5th. There's nothing near that 5th for Lucky, so it will be going down. He's sticking on the Muta-Ling Bling composition for a very long time. He does have Hive to get that 3-3, should be getting Adrenal Glands as well, but if he ever decides to transfer into Ultras once he has enough cast,
oh man,
Apocalypse does not have the army for it.
Yeah, the turn the main gets picking off. The reactor's still going down. I mean, this is really limiting the production here of Apocalypse, guys, and this is any Terran. Mech, Bio, doesn't matter. Once you kill the production, you can actually start fighting the army head-on. And huge Banelings are clustering around the... Oh my god, all the Marines go down. No spreading coming out of Reaper King, aka Apocalypse. Gonna catch some of the SUVs on the way out as well. Burrowing the Banelings. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if Apocalypse saw that. That's gonna be huge. Later
Yeah,
on,
but
when
here
the
comes
SUVs transfer. Oh, he actually detonates them now anyways.
Well, there is one still there. He's going to draw him into it, I believe. Oh, not quite works out.
Almost gets them all, but of course, it's combat shields, man. Combat shields.
Did save him a little bit. More Baneling bombs are around this map, by the way. I see a few over to the right. Ling's going to try and go into the natural. Some SCVs can be picked off there. Could just go into the production, honestly, and start camping
all the depots are down. But there are enough Marines here to deal with this. And again, Lucky's only on 2-2. His 3-3 is not quite finished yet.
Yeah, playing a really big part in keeping Apocalypse alive right now, but 3-3 is going to finish soon. Lucky just tearing Apocalypse apart, going both directions everywhere at once. Marine splits aren't that... They're pretty good, actually. Most of the Banelings are wasted off to the left side, still a huge force to the right, so he does save his...
Oh, but here comes round 2 of the Banelings. Tries to resplit. Marauder actually soaks a lot of that damage. The Mutalist now trying to swarm in and clean up, but more Marines stemming in front of the reinforcements. And again, another really intense situation on the map. But one big thing here is look at the medevac count for Apocalypse. It's almost non-existent. He actually doesn't have anything to heal up these massive stims. One single medevac, and I don't even know where the hell it is. Just popped out of the main. Oh, but big,
2 more.
Oh, big Lings running here. Supply depots do try to get up, but Lings, of course, running right over top of them.
Some Marines are going to be able to hold us off, I think, in the main. So once again, not doing too much. Yeah, medevac's helping out a lot. Lucky going into Infestors now. That'll pretty much be
I like this choice a lot more than Ultralisks, to be honest. Ultralisks are kind of great, but a lot of Zerg players, they get caught in that trap where they start making too many and only Ultralisks. And every Terran player loves dealing with only Ultralisks and nothing else.
That's very true. If there's no Infestors, no Mutas, nothing else, then it's pretty easy, actually. So.
Yeah. Oh, but big Widowmine hits. Is it going to be enough, though? Mutalisks are all at about half health. But there's so many Banelings coming in, the Marines can't quite close in on those Mutalisks like they want to.
Yeah, but this attack is actually not doing so well for Lucky. He's really wasting a lot of his Banelings.
Oh, more with the sick burrows. And the army, good scan out of Apocalypse. Okay, so he saw that burrow go down. That could have been really bad.
Problem is, he's starting to run out of scans. He has one more on his original command center, which is now his 4th. But those Banelings are not going to do too much in the main, unfortunately. Going after the engineer base, I guess there's no building armor for you.
Well, not only that, but this actually stopped turret production. Something that would be kind of necessary to deal with the Mutalisks when it comes to these static locations. But oh my god, the Baneling hit! So good!
Sick.
That is the highlight moment of the day right there, guys. What
awesome.
the hell? You know, it's painful for me as a Terran player. It's painful for me to love when that happens, but man, that was just beautiful out of Lucky.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just baiting him into that was amazing. So
but Lucky dropping this 5th base, Apocalypse. Don't get me wrong, like, he's been keeping up with his own aggression. He's not just been taking it from Lucky. He's been trying to dish it out as well. But at this point in the game, I don't think he's got enough to deal with the Mutalisks. They are kind of spiraling out of control, and now we finally have Infestors joining the fray.
Yeah, he's down by 20 supply. He still has an okay SCV count, especially for 2 base. Drop at the 4th is actually going to take it down, so nice job
actually,
for
might not.
Apocalypse.
It's going to be close. Okay, it does go down, but this drop's also going to get cleaned up. Medevac's going to get away with... Actually, won't even get away. Mutalisks will chase them down.
Yeah, they go over a queen and a spore, so they're definitely going to go down.
Yeah.
Lucky's immediately remaking his 4th, going to remake his 5th as
You know,
well.
something really notable to point out here too. Oh, nice fungal on that medevac. Look at the workers lost at this point, though. This has been so much army. Both players have been protecting their workers so vividly. At 30 minutes of the game, we barely have 50 workers killed between the two players.
Yeah, as high aggression this has been, that's actually really surprising.
Actually, that's quite astounding. We look at the resources lost too. It's not exactly even, but still, neither player phenomenally far ahead. This has been a very close game for all intents and purposes, guys. No matter how much it looks like Lucky's dominating, Reaper King, Apocalypse, it's not like he's down and out.
No, not yet, and Widowmines can always get that very lucky hit. But Infestors, they are in the field. Apocalypse pretty much just split his Marines like individually to actually like stop all those fungals, because there's about like 20.
And all he needs to do, the fungals, it's not even the damage from the fungal, it's just holding them in place so he can't split from those banelings. I mean, it's kind of like a Death Star thing. You just shoot one in and almost all the mutalisks. Not quite, but almost. I think it's what you need 4, I believe, right? 4 shots to fully kill mutalisks because of the regen?
Looks like it, yeah.
But okay, good. Not a good fungal, actually. I thought more Marines were with that.
Apocalypse is pushing forward. He's currently up by 30 supply. Lucky having a tough time re-maxing. He does have the better tech right now. I mean, there's no Marauders to dart in there and slow them either.
He's constantly losing his bases. He's got this massive gas camp, but no minerals because Apocalypse keeps picking off the hatcheries.
Yeah, no, another good Widowmine hit on those mutas has brought him down quite a bit. They're only 13.
Oh, man. He scans the infestors. Widowmines go off. He loses 3, 4 infestors. And those were like full energy infestors, too. Oh, my God. Lucky's starting to make tiny mistakes, but again, we can attribute a lot of this, I imagine, to the lag.
Oh my god, he just makes 12 mutas. He actually really wants mutas, guys. He's not going to go into Ultralis. He just wants to stay on muta Ling. Unfortunately, even with its own 3-3, it starts to get worse against 3-3 Marines. He is pushing forward right now. The muta is dying.
Oh, but look at those fungals holding the Marines in place with those banelings.
Oh!
And he loses so many of these Marines.
Yeah, but there are still enough that he can't push forward with only mutilas, at least not with the mutilas count that he has. 12 more do join in, as well as 32 lings on the way. So far, his larva production has been very, very good. Unfortunately, remember back when he had 1 medevac? Now he has bajillions, so...
Yeah, that's an accurate count, I'd say. But
yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Widowmine's not burying on the front lines as well, so lings, of course, can't come in, but of course there are no lings here to come in. Just now flooding a couple in, but... You know, the scary thing is, despite how good these banelings are, he's trading gas from Marines for most of this game, and Lucky is just in a really rough spot right now. These mutalisks are not engaging with the rest of them. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, he's going to lose this 4th. He should just pull the drones. In fact, they will mostly go down. Looks like he wants to save them with a fungal. Does save most of them. He still has that 4th over to the side. Sheer Prestige, though, very hard for a Zerg late game if you just take away their 2 mining bases. That's really one to the left, one to the right. Once those are gone, there's nowhere else. It's not like Whirlwind, they have like 3 more over to their left or whatever.
I want to point out, too, we got a lot of idle drones around the map here for Lucky. All these guys just expired a long time ago. And while it's not a big deal, there's still, they could be long distance mining, they could be doing anything, even just soaking an extra hit from mutalisks.
Yeah. There's 14 of them actually idle, so that is a big chunk of, I guess, long distance mining that he could be doing. You know, but we check, you know, as this aggression comes down, we take a step back and look.
Oh, zombie
Both
grub.
players are on 1 base. That's it.
Essentially, yes, but I want to point out, we got those banelings that have been burrowed here for the entire game. If he can bait the army over another good hit, suddenly Lucky can turn this around one more time.
Yeah, infestors are burrowed. They're going past.
He's got to be careful. You can see infestors burrowed, guys. Not easy, but you can see it. The ground makes that really weird animation.
Yeah, it's very difficult to actually be paying attention. Another scan does go down, so that's already a lot of scans gone. Not going to be able to detect those burrowed banelings.
Those banelings.
Oh my god, the infestors.
Oh, he misses it. Oh, again, he misses it.
No, I think he sees it, though. He sees it. Think on all the infestors. Oh my god. Oh, there goes Lucky's game.
That is so much lost here. Reaper King, though, now without a mining base, actually. This one just getting established, so the SCV transfer coming, but banelings here on the right side do get scanned. Oh no, that was the biggest hope here for Reaper King, or for Lucky to really just hit off on Reaper King, but Apocalypse going to push strong. And Zombie Grab, I still need to remind everybody this is only game 1.
Yeah, I mean, game 2, I have to imagine, is going to be anticlimactic no matter what they do.
In comparison, yes.
4th does go down. That was Lucky's last mining base, and meanwhile Lucky's like, yeah, I took down 2 command centers off to the left. Oh darn, there's another one to the right. That's what's great about having Terran. You have infinite command centers. pretty much.
Yeah,
so
well, eventually you will. I mean, but Mula's trying to catch some reinforcements. Again, Lucky's making some really intelligent decisions. I mean, the world of Baneling mines have been sick. The Mutila's cutting off reinforcements. 24 Mutilas on the field. I mean, but even though he's cutting off reinforcements, there's nothing at home to whittle the army away. There's no spine crawlers. There's no hidden Banelings. This is just not looking good for Lucky.
no. 5 Banelings are morphing in the main. That's his last stand, as well as these Mutas. They're going to take out the other command center, so we will only be on 1. If you can just take the other one out, that means no mining. But how many Mutas do we have? 23 Mutas versus 54 Marines. Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's not going to happen. Not with the medevacs. Maybe if there weren't any medevacs, you could stim bait them, but really not going to happen.
These Baneling mines on the ramp, if Apocalypse doesn't scan,
Oh, it's a lot of damage, but is it enough? You know, I want to point out. Okay, good game is called. Something really worth pointing out here, guys, is Masan is perhaps the most notorious Baneling miner of anybody out there. Oops, sorry, introduction screen. Ugh, let me close that off. So I'm a little shocked that Apocalypse was getting caught off guard by that so many times. His partner in crime, his teammate Masan, is somebody who probably should have been aware that, you know, hey, this happens.
Yeah.